Welcome to the Bat Monkey Network. Progress over protocol all the darn time. Good morning or happy whatever time it is where you are. Today is Beltane or Beltane, May 1st, May Day. And in the Celtic tradition, that means that it is the halfway point between spring equinox and summer solstice, and it's considered the beginning of summer. But around the world, many parts of the world, not the entire world, it's also May Day. And May Day is a great day for rising up. And the two words, rising up, can be flipped and put together in a way that I'm not entirely sure is still legal to say in the United States of America publicly. But hey, let's just try it out. Maybe it'll work. Maybe something will happen. I am reading off notes. That's going to look a little awkward because this is new to me as a process, but it's not new to me as a concept or an effort because I've been working on this for a while. So hopefully these bumps won't last long and I'll get better at it and we'll be able to do more stuff together. Today's going to be a quick one because this is our very first one. And I'm showing up raw. You can see the disarray around me. Like everywhere else, things are going to start imperfectly. Things are going to start messy. Things are going to start not ready. Things are going to start ready, but kind of a staging spot, all kinds of possible ways that things can start. Because one of the things about things starting is that we've been here for millions of years now, so we're actually resuming, continuing. It seems like a beginning to us all the time, and we can make it that way. We can also think of it as getting back up again and starting something new that's actually a continuation of something old. Yeah. So you may or may not know already that there's a lot going on around the world today. Uh, Many things changed over the past 100 days that a lot of Americans refused to believe, those of us who kept warning them that this would happen, are happening. So, sucks to be right, but at the same time, hey, okay. At least we've been thinking about it for a while. So I know that many of you are thinking about going out and being active in the world today, and you can do that. Great. I love it. Everyone loves it. We are going to be so excited to see you moving around the world and showing everybody what resistance looks like, or change, because it doesn't have to be resistance. It can just be change. And if you can't be out and about in the world today, there is a heap of things you can do. So don't fret. You can contact your local through federal representatives, and even the ones that you don't feel like represent you. In fact, maybe especially those guys, but yeah, also the ones that do a good job, and let them know, hey, this is not right. And your list of what's not right can be as long as you want it to be. It can start with the fact that our rights are being eroded, and welcome to being just like other marginalized people, other folks, because, you've got all this privilege and everything, but now you have even fewer rights than you had before. So ponder that for a second. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Most of you watching this know what I'm talking about, but I'm just highly amused by. Amused really isn't the word for it, but we're going to use the word amused because that's what I'm going to take my sanity on a ride with. I guess actually that's what we're going to try. Do I look crazy? We'll find out. All right, so you can also sign up for a volunteer effort within your abilities. Like maybe you can't go out walking around and everything, but there are efforts available for people who are willing to make phone calls, do postcards, just show up for your community in other voluntary ways that don't have anything to do with this specific situation. For me, I must stay hydrated. And drinking from a cup can be so awkward for some people. But not me. But I do choose to use that thingy, so I'm a hamster. Yeah, so signing up for a volunteer effort, like go clean up your neighborhood, go stand in front of a national park with 15 buddies and don't let anybody in that shouldn't be there having a good time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Reach out to those more vulnerable in your circles because you may well be one of the most vulnerable people in your circle, but there might be others more vulnerable than you. And I'm not saying that you have to do things physically or give people money or feed them or whatever the heck. You could just talk. You could just be there. You can give advice. I don't know. You gotta be really careful about giving advice because especially if you're in a vulnerable situation, advice sometimes can go the wrong way, right? It can just feel a little uncomfortable. I know, I keep changing the angles. That's because I'm holding my phone in my hand. I don't know how I'm going to change that part of this, but your feedback is welcome. Let's see. You can also, if contacting your local through federal reps, or signing up for volunteer effort within your abilities, or reaching out to those more vulnerable in your circles in whatever way feels comfortable to you. You can also make a safety and conscience plan with your loved ones. What's a safety and conscience plan? Well, a safety plan is where you make a plan about how to stay safe. You can make individual safety plans. It's very common in if anyone has ever had thoughts of not being on planet anymore, you learn to make a list that has the things that you would do before you decide, yeah, no, I'm checking out. And it has stuff like, usually, you can look this up. I want you to look this up because I'm not going to give you the whole thing right now. Things like, I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to drink some water. I'm going to, do something for myself. And then it goes on to things like, I'm going to call somebody who cares about me. I'm going to get in touch with somebody I care about. It can go to things like, I'm going to clean up my pet's area. Those are all valid ways to have a safety plan. But what I'm talking about is things like, what if you don't know where your local hospital route is right now? Figure that out. That's a really good, important thing to know. Also, how do you turn off the water in your house if there's something that is suddenly contaminating our water or whatever? How do you do that? Do you have other light sources other than the electric lights in your home available immediately and easily accessible? That's definitely something that you should consider. Do you have, what's another thing we want to think about safety-wise? Oh, do you have more than one exit and entrance through your home in case of something barricading one of the other exits? That's a really important thing to have. Do you have walkways through your spaces that you, helpers, your loved ones, could easily make it through your space in order to get everyone to safety? Do you have things for your pets in order to put them into a safe place quickly in case of an emergency? If you live upstairs, do you have a fire escape ladder? If there's not one provided by the place that you live, you can buy them. They're not cheap, but you can buy them. I really think they should come with most places, but I haven't won that yet, so we'll see what happens. Gotta stay hydrated. Okay, but what is a conscience plan? I think you get the gist of me on the safety plan, but a conscience plan. Who can you protect? Who can you stand up for? Can you do it safely? Is this something that you are capable of setting with your loved ones so that each of you understands, hey, child of the home, if you have a friend who is part of a population that is currently unsafe, do you want to spread the news to them that we could help them? You got to figure out how to do these things in a way that's safe for all of you, though. And it's something you should talk about ahead of time with your loved ones. Is your loved ones a very big circle? That's super awesome, because that means that you have plenty of ways to work together in order to make the world a better place for everybody. Oh, that sounds like a really big goal. Let's make it smaller. Let's say to work within your conscience in order to protect those that you know are more vulnerable than yourself and have less privilege, or potentially have even more privilege but are no longer as safe as you are. It's a really good thing to think about as soon as you possibly can. And especially if you have people within your circles who may be part of those affected populations, because many more populations are being impacted than ever before. But I encourage you to reach beyond the level that you are the most comfortable with. Maybe you're 93 years old and you never stood up for civil rights or women's rights or the environment or whatever, and just the things that have happened within the last 100 days are the only thing that ever really got you to go out there in your wheelchair with a sign. Has anybody seen that? I saw it. And you know what? It's something I'm not proud of somebody for getting up and stand up at 93. However, they missed a lot of boats and people are calling them out for it. But that's okay. I mean, you can get started, but think about it. Think about who you have not stood up for yet, or who you thought was maybe a little loop-de-doo when they were warning you that exactly what's happening right now was going to happen. And think about, what does your conscience say? How can you make that part of your safety plan for yourself and them? It's certainly something to consider. The most important thing, and what I'm hoping to exemplify right now and going forward, and in the past, sure, but I had to be quiet for a while, is speak up wherever you are, whenever you are, with whomever you are. Do you not have the ability to do that? I understand. It's okay. We have been at risk. Many of us. Many of us have been violently approached by people who couldn't handle us speaking up. Many of us have been shouted down, shut up, whatever. Now they have the ability to just completely shut down your online presence. But the good thing is you have so many ways that you can speak up. There's using your voice. There's standing in front of an important place that something horrible is happening at, like people being, removed without any consideration for their rights. And you can start saying, hey, this is wrong. You can also say, oh, look, I see that truck over there that has those specific plates and logos, and it seems to be heading for that delivery facility. I'm just going to stop in there and tell those folks, I see a plate and a logo that you might want to know about. You can do all those kinds of things. I know that all sounds very risky. But what you can also do is you can go to places where vulnerable people are and speak up when something bad is happening. You can go to places where you are feeling fine and like nothing bad is wrong and wear a shirt that says, hey, I think we deserve to be a better country, not to make a specific populist claim about being great again or anything, but accept the fact that what's going on right now is wrong. And you know what? Maybe you're not even dealing with an American situation, because I am definitely in favor of the entire world, thinking about where the entire world is right now. And again, please keep in mind, I'm aware of my insane privilege. I have a lot of privilege. I do have some other issues, but we're going to pretend like I don't have those right now. And I'm going to say that's why I'm speaking up. Because even if I didn't have insane levels of privilege, I've been doing this since I was a little poor kid, so it doesn't matter. But if you have privilege, it is really important to be seen by other people with privilege speaking up as soon as possible, as clearly as possible, and as often as possible, right? All right. So this is just the first time that we're going to be talking. And what I'm welcoming you to is joining me in getting more ready for whatever. Just whatever happens, we should be preparing ourselves as much as possible for whatever. So that's it for this particular message. I'll be back. Thank you for joining me on the very first broadcast of the Bat Monkey Network. And I hope you have a happy May Day and a lovely time rising up.